Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I will be talking about anything and everything Disney college programs. So today is the life update. I'm super excited. So Disney college applications came out on the 22nd of January. So me and my best friend applied together. We applied at 10 o'clock that night on the 22nd. So after you apply, you get your first email saying thank you for applying. This is by the date that you should hear back from us by. I got that email exactly 17 minutes after, so at 10:17. And then I've been watching a lot of vlogs about when people get their second email saying that they're qualified for the WBI, the web-based interview. And a lot of people get it within like a minimum of 30 minutes. And so I had applied twice before and I'm like, maybe I should just check 30 minutes after. So at 10:30 I kept refreshing my email and nothing. And then at 10:32 I got a second email saying that I was invited to take a web-based interview, and I was ecstatic. It was great because I had never gotten past the applied stage or the in submission stage. So I was super excited about that. And so I took my web-based interview I started at 11:45 that night. I recorded all the questions that they asked me, but after each section it says do not copy or reprint or do like any of that stuff. So I'm not going to post my exact questions, but I will definitely be doing later on in this video what the web-based interview is like, how it's constructed. And so it doesn't tell you when there's a last question. Like, it doesn't tell you, oh, this is the last question you're going to answer. It doesn't say anything about that. So I was just sitting there like, oh, I'm not gonna get it. It's cool, third time around. No, it's not gonna happen for me. It's not gonna happen for you ever. The next screen said phone interview, like in bold. At the top said phone interview, and I was like, wait, did I get a phone interview? Like, it doesn't say congratulations, like what does that mean? So I read the fine print and it ended up being that I could schedule a phone interview. So I will include my reaction when I got the slide. When I got the phone interview right now. I passed my WBI. So I'm pretty overjoyed at that moment and I was super excited. So I scheduled my interview for Thursday at 10:45 at night. Yep. I didn't even know they could do like at night interviews. Like, I didn't even know that was a thing. Every other vlog that I've seen, like, they're doing it at 1 in the afternoon or like 10 in the morning. No one says like at night. So yeah, I almost had my phone interview at midnight. No. So I was freaking out like all Tuesday. Like, I was preparing, I was watching a lot of vlogs to see like the questions that they would ask, and so I could prepare my answers. That the next day, so Wednesday, I had laid out all these things that you see up there. It just gives me pointers for when I was going to take the interview, just in case like my mind went blank like it is going right now. And then Thursday came around, and when I woke up Thursday morning, I was like, you know what, today's going to be a great day. Like, I could just feel it. Like, I'm excited. Like, I'm just smiling inside. I'm not gonna worry about anything. My recruiter called at exactly 10:45. And I was like, okay, I got this. I started shaking and I was so nervous for the first 10 minutes. And the first 10 minutes, they basically tell you how the interview is gonna go. They confirm all of your personal information, confirm that you comply and know the Disney look. Ask you if you have any tattoos or piercings. Then the first question that she asked is, why do you want to do the Disney college program? And I was a wreck. I was horrified at my answer because I have my why Disney, it says resume, once in a lifetime experience, well-respected company, and passionate, all in like bullet points. And so I started with, I have really been passionate about the Disney company for most of my life, and I think it'd be a great thing to put on a resume, and it'd be a good experience to do, and I think I'll meet a lot of diverse people, and it could not have gone any worse for the most important question that they ask you. So I was like, I'm not gonna get it. Like, this is fine. Like, this is gonna be a wreck for the rest of the time. And so she moved on to questions about work experience, or in past jobs. So she asked, tell me about your past jobs and what you learned in them. And so I had in my little notebook all the jobs compiled into like a category. So I worked as a Starbucks barista in like 2 different jobs. So I compiled like what I learned in those jobs and then what I learned in my residence life job here at college. So I started talking about Starbucks. And then I said, I definitely learned how to manage my time during high volume situations, or high volume periods of time, something like that. And she's like, oh, I get all about Starbucks. And we started talking about Starbucks for like 5 minutes. Like I wasn't even saying anything about my job experience at that point. We were just talking about Starbucks. And it made me feel so much more relaxed that I breeze through all the rest of my qualities in those jobs that I learned, or skills that I learned in those jobs, and it was natural. Like I was smiling more, I was showing more of who I was, or who I am in that, and from then on it was just a really easy, flowy conversation. She gave great feedback. I think her name was Dawn. I couldn't get her name at the beginning because she went super fast, so it definitely started with a D, but I couldn't remember what her name was. But anyway, so she continued to ask me about qualifications for roles at Disney. So she didn't ask what are your top 3 roles, or the normal questions that you see Disney College Program recruiters asking. She asked, are you comfortable in water? Have you ever had to jump in to save somebody? So obviously that was for lifeguard, and so I told her my experiences with that. And then she said, are you comfortable taking out trash? And then we talked more about Starbucks and how obviously that's part of the job. She asked about more qualifications. So she asked about lifeguard, custodial, merchandise, attractions. And then after that, she didn't ask about literally anything that I prepared for on these note cards. So I think it was just the time of night that it was at. The first thing she said, this is gonna be a 15-minute interview. So I was like, okay, I guess that's standard. But on the email that they said they sent confirming my phone interview, said it was gonna be between 20 and 30 minutes. So I think because it was so late at night, she wanted it to go quick, and it definitely made me feel more comfortable because she wasn't just spitting out questions, she was actually conversing with me, which was great. And then I had time to ask her questions, and I asked her one thing that they look for in cast members, like full-time cast members, because I actually want to be a full-time cast member one day. And then what are the typical housing problems that they get from Disney College programmers. She told about a time when she was a Disney College programmer, when her and her roommate had completely different schedules. She worked at night and her roommate worked in the morning, and so they would never really see each other, but they were always like loud when the other person was asleep and they had to get ready for work. So they just had to communicate and all that stuff. And she asked me things about housing. She asked, have I lived alone, and if not, what was that situation like? So I told her I've lived alone and with a roommate, and I told her about both situations. She was telling me about her experience, and she said, quote, like you said, all we needed to do was communicate our needs and our issues that we had with each other and then go from there. And I was so thankful that she said that, because it just reaffirmed that, like, she was obviously listening. I mean, obviously they have to listen and write something down, but it was more personal. Like, she knew what I was saying. She knew from my perspective what was going on and what I was trying to relay to her. So that was really encouraging. We basically finished and she said, I'm so excited we got to talk. So for the web-based interview, it's divided into 4 sections. So you've got the first section where it's basically multiple choice. So they ask you a question, like if you were to describe yourself, you describe yourself as, and then they have 4 characteristics. So it goes basically like that. For about 20 questions, you have 50 seconds to complete each question. And then section 2, you have 20 seconds to complete each question. And I think there were about 20 questions. And it was from strongly agree to strongly disagree. You know the drill. Don't put anything in between. I didn't put a neutral. I didn't put an agree or disagree. I always put strongly disagree or strongly agree. That was okay. I definitely could tell that there were some questions that were repeated and that were just reworded. And 1 or 2 was kind of stressful because I couldn't remember what I had put for the same question that was just reworded differently in the first section. And I didn't know that they were going to repeat questions in different sections. So there's about 6 questions from each section that's always repeated, that's always in different wordings. And section 3 is basically the same thing, rewording every single question from section 2. They just want to make sure that you're consistent and that you know who you are and you're kind of relaying that to them and you're not lying about it. So sections 1 through 3 were about you and your personal, like, what habits you have. And then section 4 is all about the Disney College Program. So what you would do if you were accepted. So if you had a roommate conflict, would you talk to the roommate? Would you go to housing, security, like things like that? That section is probably the hardest because they have multiple choice questions that there are 2 like answers that you could possibly choose, and you don't know what they are looking for. This is my only thing that I would pay attention to in the web-based interview. If in the 4th section you see a question like, I don't know if they want the first answer or the last answer, I have no idea. Remember the answers that you gave for sections 1 through 3. Be consistent. If in section 1 they asked, if you were to have a conflict arise at work, would you A, find help, B, be a leader and take care of it, C, prioritize the situation and either take care of it or find someone else to do it, or D, do nothing about it? So if you said B, I'd be a leader and take care of it, and in the 4th section you were to answer a question that's similar, definitely choose be a leader, even though like that second answer might be something that they will also look for. So definitely being consistent with all the questions in all sections. It's you definitely get a lot of repeats within the section, but definitely be consistent in all sections. So now I'm just waiting to hear any response. I have joined about 3 Fall and Fall Advantage 2018 Disney College Program Facebook pages. I've heard a lot of vloggers talk about like how they're in these pages, and I'm like, where do you find these pages? Just look up, go to the search engine in Facebook and type in Disney College Program and then whatever term that you're applying for. So I'm applying for the Fall 2018, or I've applied for the Fall 2018. So I just typed in Disney College Program, Fall 2018, and a bunch came up and I joined everything. So definitely I am going to be checking my dashboard every week, every day, every minute, and just hoping that they'll accept me. So I'm just super excited. I will videotape every time I look on my dashboard. I'm going to try to film once I know that there's a wave of acceptances going out. I'll be trying to film those days and me checking my emails. So thank you guys so much for watching. Definitely subscribe because I have a good feeling about this. If not, the next video about the Disney College Program that you'll probably see will be of me crying, but that's okay. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!